Hello. On this edition of the program, we've got important information on a number of service enhancements slated for the MTA bus this month. In observance of Black History Month, we'll take a look back at MTA's rich history and heritage with one of MTA's first African American transit operators. We'll visit MTA's Transit Information Contact Center for a look at what's new there. MTA will get you to one of the area's most exciting attractions and will introduce you to one of our important behind-the-scenes people at the MTA, all right here. I'm Tawanda Carter. Welcome to MTA Commuter Connections. Following a comprehensive review of Baltimore's local bus system, which included extensive outreach and input from riders and other stakeholders, MTA this month will institute a number of BNIP, or Bus Network Improvement Project service changes in an effort to improve the reliability and efficiency of service. Michael Walk, MTA's Director of Service Development, joins us with more on how your bus lines might be affected by this. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
What is BNIP, and can you tell us why it's necessary?
So BNIP stands for the Bus Network Improvement Project. And we launched it because the bus system in Baltimore, which carries over 2/3 of MTA's riders, hasn't had a hard look in almost a decade. And we realized that it was time to take a step back, look at the way the system was designed, and make it work better for our riders and for the region.
Thank you. When will the service changes actually take place?
So we have a round of what we're calling Phase 1 service changes that will take effect February 22nd of 2015.
So can you tell me when the last service changes was made to the Baltimore system?
That's a good question. So over the years, we've made minor changes to the system, maybe adding a line here or there. And even as early as August of 2014, we also made some changes as a part of the BNIP Phase 1 plan, where we added service to the Baltimore Casino and did a few other minor service changes. So we've been making minor changes ongoing over the years. However, in February, this will be the first time in quite a while that we've actually made a significant change to a number of lines. So we're taking a step towards getting the system built the way it needs to be built.
Okay, and when did the process of actually changing the service begin?
So BNIP started a long time ago, back in the fall of 2013 is when we got it off the ground. And we went to public engagement over that fall, and we hope to get the report out in 2014. Obviously, we're a little behind schedule on sort of the whole plan, but this Phase 1 plan was released in July of 2014. And the Phase 1 plan, we put it out to the public, and then when we decided what we were wanted to do in February of this year, we held public hearings back in the fall of 2014. We had an online dialogue or a website, and so really that's when the process of getting the details of what's happening in February started, which last fall.
Okay, and how did the public receive these recommendations?
Yeah, so we went through a process where we advertised our recommendations or our proposals in the fall of 2014. We used newspapers, everything from the Baltimore Sun to the Bee. We used audio announcements on board the buses that let riders know that there were changes we were proposing. We also put advertisements inside the buses and also used our MTA e-advisory and social media accounts in order to notify riders that we had proposals on the floor that we needed to comment about.
Okay, and finally, what will our customers expect as far as an immediate change to service?
So the February service changes that are coming up on the 22nd involve changes to 4 existing lines and then adding 2 bus lines. So I'll try to put it in a nutshell. But to start with, the 11 line, which is today from Towson to Canton, it operates, will actually be shortened in the downtown area. So we call it a split.
Okay.
So we're basically splitting the 11 line. So it's going to run between Towson and the Inner Harbor. And the service to Canton is going to be given to another bus line, a new one called the 31. So we're not doing away with service to Canton. It'll be put on a new bus line called the 31. Also, we're splitting the 20 line, which is a major line that we have, and that line will be split. It'll operate on the west as the 20 to City Hall, and then on the east side, it'll operate as two new lines, the 26 and the 31.
Okay.
So there's substantial changes, and riders are going to see a change in the riding patterns, and we really hope that riders will get more details about these changes. We have a website up. It's mta.maryland.gov/service changes. And also they can call our call center, the 410-539-5000, and get more details.
Thanks again for joining us today. We look forward to hearing more about the BNIP project.
Thank you.
MTA is dedicated to providing its customers the best service possible, not only on MTA bus, but also along its rail systems. MTA MARC Train West Baltimore Station, commuters and the residents surrounding the station are benefiting from a few MARC facility improvements recently made there.
MARC rail commuters who travel from the West Baltimore MARC station received a late holiday season beginning of the year gift with the opening of 2 new parking lots at the station, doubling the number of available parking spots to nearly 650 for MARC rail daily commuters.
First 2 lots have been here since the station was built. What you see in the distance there and then a little bit past that are the 2 new lots. They were created by tearing down the road to nowhere, the Interstate 70 that was never completed. And by demolishing that viaduct, we were able to expand parking back and add about a little over 300 spaces. By adding the new parking in the back, we were able to greatly increase the number of handicap spaces here that parallel Mulberry Street.
The parking lot expansion is part of a much larger station improvement project at West Baltimore Station, which has added new environmentally friendly LED lighting, a new platform surface, new waiting shelters to protect passengers from the elements, and a new safety edge tactile cautionary strip to keep commuters at the station safe behind the yellow line. The recently added parking will go a long way to making the MARC commute better for the large number of MARC patrons who travel from this station each and every day, and it's made residents in the surrounding community happy as well.
The MARC train parking improvements have done a great job of stopping the overflow problem we had here and making a comfortable, safe place for customers to park. In addition, its vanity point, it looks good, and cosmetically that will affect the neighborhoods too by having a base to grow and beautify from.
The station improvements here also positions this busy transit service area and neighborhood for future expansion and the proposed Red Line, which is slated for service through here in 2022.
Up next, a look at MTA's rich history and heritage. In observance of Black History Month, we'll chat with one of MTA's first African American transit employees. Stay with us.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
On December 1st, 1955, African-American seamstress Rosa Parks changed transit and American history by sitting in a section of a Montgomery, Alabama bus restricted for Negroes in a strong stand for civil rights. But we need not look far for an example of individuals who have paved the way and who've made a difference. Today, our guest, Mr. Burtram Dailey, helped to knock down that barrier of discrimination when he became one of MTA's first African American transit operators. We welcome to the show, Mr. Dailey.
Thank you.
Can you give us some information about how your career started with the MTA? Back then it was called the Baltimore Transit Company.
That is correct. My career started as a streetcar and bus driver. And the division or the base that I worked out of is up at Belvedere and Ricerstown Road. So I started off as a streetcar operator, and then when they closed streetcars down in the 60s, they went to all buses, and then I became a bus operator.
Mr. Dailey, can you tell us whether or not there was segregation back in Baltimore during the time when you were as a transit operator?
There wasn't the segregation there was in the South. Blacks, and they classified us as coloreds. Mm-hmm. In those days, we could sit anywhere on the streetcars or on the buses. They had no sections or parts of the vehicle that we could sit in. We never experienced anything like that.
Which is totally different from the atmosphere in the South.
Correct, that is correct. But we had a lot. You see, Baltimore was unique because Baltimore had a lot of industry. Mm-hmm. Baltimore had shipyards and Sparrows Point, and there was a lot of blacks that was employed in the shipyards. Mm-hmm. and Sparrows Point and Glenelg Martin, all of those places. And I don't think it would have been wise for MTA, then BTC, to have any segregation on their vehicles.
Can you tell us the process that was in place to become a bus operator?
Well, to become a bus operator they did it both at the same time. Mm-hmm. They trained you on streetcars and they trained you on buses, okay, all at one time. Okay. First of all, streetcars, they trained you on streetcars first, and you had to learn all the lines out of that particular division on streetcars. Mm-hmm. So therefore, they can put you on any line if you was an extra person. Mm-hmm. The same thing with the buses. You had to learn, if it was 15 lines out of a bus space, you had to learn each and every line, know the complete route, okay, of that line.
Were there many African American bus riders at that point?
Yes, when I came in 55, there were quite a number of black bus drivers at that time.
Mm-hmm. And what was your average day like from start to finish?
Well, it depends on the work. Of course, by being a low man on the token pole, you receive late work. Mm-hmm. Some of it was midnight work. Mm-hmm. Some of it was swing work, like you go to work 5 in the morning and you break off at 9 or 8, mm-hmm, and then you come back at 1 or 2, mm-hmm, and you get off at 5 or 6, and it was like that. Okay. So it was, they had the drivers out there during peak hours, both in the morning and in the evening.
So when you look at today's system, how would you compare the difference between the services that are offered today versus what was offered back in the 50s and 60s?
They have a lot of service for the people today. Baltimore is lucky to have such a variety of service. You know, they have light rail. Now, light rail is similar almost to streetcars. And they have heavy rail, which wasn't in existence. And they have buses, and they have mobility. They never had no mobility in our day. So you have a lot of service in Baltimore.
So what are some of your thoughts as being a manager and in the system back then, and how do you feel that the employment opportunities for African Americans have improved throughout the years?
From the time that I was a manager, the MTA not only moved blacks into positions, management positions, but I think it was the start of most of the blacks that went into management positions when I started. Because from my group, it was a group of us that got promoted to supervisors, got promoted to, they were managers of planning, they were managers of supervision, they were managers, and these were all blacks. They were managers of a majority of the departments. And I think we were the start, the beginning of it. And I can truly say that I had a wonderful career.
Well, Mr. Dailey,
I enjoyed it.
It is a pleasure to meet with you today, and we thank you for coming on to talk to us about your experience as one of the first African American transit drivers.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Now a new feature, our We're Your MTA segment, where we will introduce you to an MTA employee each month. MTA not only has great employees in its past, but lots of hard-working and dedicated current employees who assist and contribute daily to MTA's mission of providing transit to the commuting public. Today, we will introduce you to one of the behind-the-scenes employees you wouldn't normally see in your travels.
Meet Tawanda Clements, a charismatic human resources benefits officer who balances an active personal life with a rewarding career here at the MTA.
My name is Tawanda Clements, and I am a human resource benefits officer. I love working here at MTA in the HR department because we have a wonderful team, and I feel like the whole department works together very well. As the benefits administrator here, I handle everything from new hire orientations to, unfortunately, death benefits, processing out employees and retirees their last paycheck, life insurance payments. I also handle medical enrollments, dental enrollments, 401k questions, and day-to-day HR information that comes through.
After rigorous job searching, Tawanda realized working for the MTA was a perfect fit.
I originally found this job when looking for a job closer to home and that offered great benefits. And as an MTA employee, you're afforded the luxury of riding the mass transit for free, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So that was a great benefit. So the process for becoming a state employee, which I'm sure lots of people incur, it's a long process. It's a long screening process. And there were times where I felt like I had fallen out of the loop and wasn't qualified, not knowing that the amount of applicants they have just takes them an enormous amount of time to process. So it was probably about a 6-month process for me, start to finish, but it was well worth it.
Outside of assisting MTA's 3,500 plus employees, Tawanda takes every opportunity to explore her passions.
I started modeling when I was in my early teens. Someone saw me in the mall and thought, oh wow, you're 6'1", you should model. And I thought, I always thought about it. So I tried out and they liked me. So I did it for a couple of years. Now I do it for fun, for the free clothes, and a little bit for the money. So now I'll take temporary jobs to do runway modeling. So I'll model for a clothing store or an event that they're having and they're just looking for fill-in models. So I like it for extra money. It's really fun. I think that my job here probably ends an hour once I get home and I debrief and I start again the next day. So modeling is more of a weekend thing, and my job here is more of a Monday through Friday, sometimes a Saturday. So I really have the flexibility to model on the weekends, which is great.
To balance work and home, Tawanda makes sure her family is involved in the community.
I also have 2 children. I have an 8-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. My son, I am a volunteer mom with his basketball league, and my daughter, I am a Girl Scout troop leader. We do things like caroling, we help out the homeless, we did a sock drive for the veterans, we do bingo at nursing homes. So I have a really good balance between volunteering and working and mixing my children into all of that.
Just ahead, a visit to MTA's 539-5000 Transit Information Contact Center. That's next.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now, are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero oír. Danny, no lo puedo hacer.
DMC, life in your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs, just keeping it real.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
We are here at the Maryland Transit Administration Transit Information Contact Center, located at the Washington Boulevard Complex in Southwest Baltimore. Here, transportation customer service representatives are here to answer questions and concerns from our customers regarding our service. I'm here with Sandy Harris, the manager of the department. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
What is the official mission of the Transit Information Contact Center?
Well, the mission of TIC is to be, first of all, customer focused. And we provide excellent and exceptional customer service. And the information that we provide is accurate and efficient for all the MTA's customers that ride our service.
What are some of the things that the customers are inquiring about when they call?
Well, the majority of our calls are about customers trying to get from work to home to certain places in Baltimore City. We provide itineraries, baseball games, events in Baltimore City, snow emergency information to our customers that ride the service.
How many calls are received on a daily basis here in the call center?
On a daily basis, we answer 7,000 to 10,000 calls daily.
Wow, that's a lot of calls.
Yes, that's a lot of calls.
So how many people do you actually have staff in the center?
Well, we have a staff of 30 information agents, and we also have supervisory staff that helps us out.
Okay. So MTA as an agency has various modes of transportation. Can you give us a little bit more information about the types of services that are available through this call center for the various modes of transportation?
Sure. Our call center offers information on MTA's local and commuter bus services and all of MTA's rail services, which is MARC train, Metro, and light rail.
So if someone wanted to know some information about MTA services, can you give them the hours of operation for the center?
Yes, the hours of operations are Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we also open during weather emergencies and transportation emergencies.
So what does a customer do if they want some information on a weekend?
We have an automated system which is open 24/7 to assist the customers with their calls.
I understand that you have a new telephone system. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, we're very excited about our new phone system that we installed on January the 15th. It has several features that would enhance the customer's experience, such as speech recognition. All the customer needs to do is speak their question or stop to the automated system, and it will return their information to them automatically. We also offer bilingual services now, with Spanish being the second language, which is real important to that part of our community. And we also, we have two more enhancements. But once you press 0 to come on the call center side, you have enhancements of you're able to get callback. So if you're waiting on hold for a certain amount of time, we'll offer the caller callbacks where you can leave your phone number and we'll call you back and you will not lose your place in queue. That's important. And we also have skills-based routing opposed to group routing. Your call will be routed to the most experienced person to handle your call.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, Ms. Harris. I look forward to hearing from you in the near future.
Thank you, my pleasure.
You're welcome. Just ahead, a look at what's new at the National Aquarium. Next.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah. That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
In our new MTA To Go segment, our region has a wealth of interesting places to visit and see for a day of family fun. Many of these attractions are conveniently accessible by the MTA. The National Aquarium in Baltimore is one of them. It's only a short bus or train ride away. Joining us with a look at what's new at the aquarium, it's its Media Relations Manager, Kate Rowe. Hello, Kate.
Hi, thank you for having me.
For our viewers who may not know where the aquarium is, can you tell us exactly where the aquarium is located in Baltimore?
Yes, the National Aquarium is located in downtown Baltimore in the center of the Inner Harbor.
And how long has the aquarium been in existence?
This year, 2015, we will have been open for 34 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great institution in Baltimore.
How did the aquarium come to be?
So the aquarium came to be kind of in that renaissance of the Inner Harbor with Mayor Schaefer. He was looking to build the city and make it really accessible for families and visitors alike.
And how's the aquarium received from the citizens of Baltimore?
I think our locals love it. I really do. We are your aquarium. You know, we are the National Aquarium by title, but we're really Baltimore's aquarium, Maryland's aquariums. I think we're here for our locals.
Can you tell us some of the things that one would see if they plan to visit to the aquarium?
So much. You would see so much. We have more than 17,000 different animals, and they range from about 700 to 800 species. Mm-hmm. So you'll see everything from sharks to dolphins to frogs, lizards, birds even, because we are trying to support all aquatic treasures, and everything really depends on the ocean and water. So it's not just fish.
Okay, and how many exhibits do you have, and how often do those exhibits change?
We have a lot of different exhibits. We have a few main exhibits, like our Black Tip Reef exhibit, Animal Planet Australia, as well as our Rainforest exhibit. They don't often change. We are currently looking to open our new exhibit this year called Living Seashore, which will base off of a Atlantic seashore. So think Azteec Island or kind of seashores along the way.
Okay, what type of funding does the aquarium receive?
We are a nonprofit institution, and we're not federally funded. So we receive a lot of our funding from, the state, but mostly from donors, members, and public like you.
Okay, so if I'm interested in bringing my family to visit the aquarium, can you give me a little bit more about the hours of operation?
Sure, so we change our hours depending on the season. So you'll be able to check our website and find out whatever the hours are for that day. But most days we're open from, a 9 to 4 time period.
Okay, and can you tell our riders how they can actually get there?
Well, we're actually extremely accessible to everyone on MTA. The light rail is close by, you can get the metro, and we have a lot of buses that stop right by us.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you when I bring my family down to the aquarium. Thanks for joining us, Kate.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. That brings us to the end of another Commuter Connections program. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Take care.